Hello, you're on. You're on. Can you hear me?
Hello, everyone. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Alon. How are you? Let's have a quick sound check here.
Can you hear me, Ben?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Now I can hear you, I think.
1 second.
Yeah.
Okay. I think now you can hear me, right?
Yes. How are you, Ben?
I'm good. I'm good. And hello, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar. Really, we're going to talk about the market, see what the algorithm thinks about the market and for the following month and even for the second half of 2026. We're going to see live forecast from today, from the last few days. We're going to talk about interesting sectors that we think that is going to be relevant for this time. And meanwhile, before we'll start, we have a new feature for you. You can send us in the Q&A all the stocks that you want to have the forecast on for the following month, for the next month. And the stocks that will have the multiple picks, we're gonna show you the live forecast for those stocks in the end of this webinar. So use the Q&A and send us the stocks that you want us to generate the algorithm on, and you will see the forecast for those stocks for the following month. So feel free to send us in the Q&A. By the way, during the webinar, if you have any other question, please use the Q&A feature to ask us the question. We will try to answer them all during the webinar. And before we're going to start, a quick disclaimer that I know First Daily Market Forecast does not provide the personal investment or financial advice to individual or act as a financial, legal, or institutional investment advisor or individually advocate to purchase or sell any of the security or investment or the use of any particular financial strategy. All investing stock forecasts and investing strategies include the risk of loss for some or even all of your capital. Before pursuing any financial strategies discussed on this webinar, you should always consult a licensed financial advisor. So that's the disclaimer. And let me share the presentation and we are ready to go.
Yeah, let's see the tickers that the crowd is sharing with us. Hello, everyone. So I see here NVDA, I see here BE, BR. Interesting choices. SpaceX. Okay, we're going to talk about SpaceX as well. Tesla, Apple, NVDA again, Amazon. Okay, very interesting. Marvel, very interesting tickers. And the list is very long. Feel free to use the Q&A to share your picks. And we will start in a few seconds. Meta. Oh, interesting. This is several people that talking about asking for live forecast for Meta, Micron Technology, uh, XLE, GDX.
Okay, Yaron, are we ready to start?
Yes, 1 second, and we should start. Hey, Meta again. All right. Let's start then. Hello everyone. My name is Yaron Golger. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of I Know First. And today with me, Ben Rubin. Ben,
Yeah,
hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you very much.
Ben is the head of our advisory services in I Know First, and I will introduce also the entire team quite shortly. I will start with introduction of the I Know First, the technology and the team. So I Know First, we are AI wealth tech company. Our main solution is a predictive algorithm that generates daily forecast for the financial markets and identifying the most promising investment opportunities. We are using artificial intelligence, more specifically deep learning, artificial neural networks, and genetic algorithms to predict the financial market. Our predictive algorithm is generating daily forecasts for over 13,500 assets from different asset classes, equities, ETF, indices, commodities, currencies, with daily forecasts for multiple time frames, short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. It's a global solution. We are generating daily forecasts for over 50 global stock exchanges, including the stock exchanges in the US, Europe, Australia, India, Japan, China, basically most of the stock exchanges across the globe. And let's jump directly to the market, Ben.
Yep, and what we see here is a forecast from today from the I think hottest sector right now in the market, which is the software and the cyber and software sector, and we can find the five leading stocks from today's forecast of the algorithm for 3 days ahead. You can see that was generated today, the 1st of July, and we can find stocks such as BB, BlackBerry, ALKT, and Alchemy Technology. We can find the PAR. We can find a Uploving here with 7% up, and we can find the GWRE that also jumped by 4.3%. I took that just before we started the webinar at the opening, but we can in this example we can just see the abilities of the algorithm to actually identify the best stocks out of specific sectors. And we can see those results in this short-term forecast. Another example is actually from the tech package that we have. We're going to talk about all the packages later on. And also, we're going to explain all the squares and the indicators that you see in this forecast. But just to give you a quick example, a quick taste from the algorithm abilities, this is the 7 days forecast from the 1st of July. And we can find Axon Enterprise leading this forecast with 6.13%, and Palo Alto also with 2.85 at the beginning of this forecast. And also we have a negative forecast for those two stocks we can find the WDC with -5% and light with -4%. So just to give you an example of the algorithm abilities, we're going to talk about those forecasts later, but this is quite impressive. For the first day of the forecast, this is the first day, and for example, our clients got those forecasts in the morning today, early in the morning today, and they already can actually enjoy those stocks that the algorithm gave them for the following 7 days.
Yeah, this forecast was sent basically 12 hours ago to our clients, and I think it's interesting because not only the long side is working well, but also the short side with light and WDC. WDC is falling by more than 7% as we speak. AXON is jumping by more than 7%. Palo Alto is jumping by already 4% as we speak. So yeah, this is just an illustration. Don't worry, we will explain how to read this forecast and how to read the indicators during the webinar. So let's meet the IKnow1st team. So as mentioned, the predictive algorithm was developed by our R&D team that being led by Dr. Lipa Reutemann, one of the leading experts in the field of artificial intelligence machine learning with over 20 years of experience. Dr. Reutemann is from the Weizmann Institute and is leading our unique R&D team that includes PhDs, AI and machine learning experts. We have math professor as part of the core R&D team, as well as employees with the background of data science, math, statistics, physics. My name is Yaron Golger, and I'm the CEO and the co-founder of IKnow1st. I'm also the chairman of the Israeli Export Institute. I'm leading the FinTech board there. I'm lecturing at the Reichman University, and I'm an engineer, and with an MBA from the Ben-Gurion University. You met already Ben, the head of our advisory. Ben is a advisor, used to work for several years in the Bank Hapoalim, senior advisor, and is leading our activity specifically with institutional clients from all over the world. And talking about institutional clients, the IKnow1st predictive algorithm is being trusted by the world's leading hedge funds, investment houses, banks, family offices, brokerage firms, as well as high net worth individuals from all over the world. In this list, you can find leading hedge funds, leading investment houses, prop companies from all over the world that utilizing our technology basically to manage their portfolios, family offices, and also brokerage firms, Finvasia, for instance. It's the leading brokerage firm in India that basically implemented our technology in order to provide daily prediction for the Indian market for over 100,000 clients. So basically, our activity is implemented in several institutional clients all over the world, as well as high net worth individuals and private clients from all over the world. The solution that you're about to see has received several international awards, including from UBS, Entity Data, and the Geneva Wealth Tech Forum. Yeah, several ceremonies, and also we just finished the second semester in the Reichman University, and we are really proud about this cooperation with the Reichman University. We have a busy month. During the last month, we spoke in several TV channels, and we have several events that we were participating in. So What's special about I Know First? First, it's a global solution. We are generating daily forecasts for 13,500 assets from 50 global stock exchanges. We are using science in order to predict the financial market. The algorithm was developed by Dr. Lipa Reutemann from the Weizmann Institute of Science, and the solution is being trusted by the world leading hedge funds, banks, and investment firms.
Yes, and we also have our WhatsApp group, our community group in the WhatsApp list. Feel free to scan the QR code and join our growing group. In this group, we are publishing some real-time forecast, AI articles, and talking about the stock market in general. So feel free to scan the QR code and join our community.
Okay, so basically, we are offering two solutions to our client. On one hand, it's possible to utilize the predictive algorithm as a decision supporting tool that basically providing us a daily forecast and identifying opportunities on a daily basis. So this is the example that we have seen in the beginning of this webinar. Basically, daily forecast that being sent to your email on a daily basis before the market opening, with the best opportunities for the upcoming days, the short term, the mid-term, and also the long term. The second solution is basically a systematic solution when we basically converting the daily forecast into a systematic portfolio. We have developed several strategies that constructing the initial portfolio and also conducting the ongoing and the monthly rebalancing in the portfolio. We're going to discuss it as well during this webinar. The I Know First predictive algorithm includes three components. By utilizing the first component, it's possible to identify the most promising investment opportunities every day. The second component is providing us stock market intelligence. We can use the AI in order to identify the leading sector in the market, the leading regions across the globe, and also, because it's a long-short predictive algorithm, it's providing us insights regarding stocks that we should avoid or sectors that we should avoid and regions as well that we should avoid. And the last component is a customized solution, basically based on each client portfolio. Each client can provide us its own portfolio or watch list, and we can create a custom forecast based on this list in the very same way that we're going to do it during this webinar. During this webinar, we ask you to provide us tickers in the Q&A. And by the end of this webinar, we're going to stop the webinar for 1 second, and we're going to create a custom forecast based on the list that you have sent us. By the way, you still can do it. Use the Q&A, provide us your tickers, and we will create this custom forecast based on the crowd choice. So how do we do it? We are relying on science. The predictive algorithm is collecting a significant amount of data that is coming from the entire financial market. We are gathering data that coming from the different stock exchanges that we are monitoring, the equity side. We are collecting data from the interest rate environment, the commodities market, the currency market, even the cryptocurrencies. We are basically collecting data, quantitative data sets from the entire that representing the entire financial market. We are adding the daily data to our database. We are managing database with historical data. And from that point, the AI is taking control and basically every day building the complex network that exists in financial market. In a financial market, there are thousands of correlation sets, and the AI is able basically to build the complex network that representing the financial market every day. In the financial market, there are thousands of correlation sets. The AI is building this complex network without any human intervention, and you are receiving the bottom line. basically the daily forecast for the time frames that we see on the right, short term, mid-term, and also long term. Also, since the financial market is a dynamic system, the rules and the correlation sets are changing. The market is changing, and the AI predictive algorithm is adapting to the new market regime. And basically, every day, this complex network is being built without any human intervention from scratch. Of course, there is a feedback loop in the very same way that you are training your Claude. We are training our predictive algorithm. The AI is learning from each forecast, from each successful forecast, and also from each failure. This is internal feedback loop that we have. Unlike Claude, this is a specialized predictive algorithm specifically from the stock market environment. This is we have been training it for the capital market only. Okay, in terms of the technology, we are combining different AI approaches into one predictive algorithm. We are utilizing deep learning, artificial neural networks, genetic algorithms, reinforcement learning to predict the financial market, and also to conduct a very interesting process. Every day, the predictive algorithm is separating the unpredictable part of the market and focusing on the most predictable assets in the market right now. So if we're taking as an example the Russell 2000 universe, we're going to discuss the Russell 2000 universe in this webinar. So if I'm taking the 2000 stocks that included in the Russell 2000 every day, the AI is separating the unpredictable part from the Russell 2000 and focusing on the most interesting or the most predictable stocks from the Russell 2000 universe.
Okay, so let's understand a little bit how the forecast works and looks like. So the forecast comes in a shape of a heat map, as you can see. The green cells represent long position, while the red one represents short position. And in each and every cell, we have the symbol that is in the top of each of every square. And we're having two indicators. The first one in the middle of each and every square is the signal. The signal represents actually the predictive movement of the asset or the price deviation of the specific asset. And it helps us to rank the entire investment universe that we are looking at. So in this case, for the 1 month forecast, we can see that APLD has the strongest signal, which means this stocks in a time frame of 1 month supposed to move in the strongest way up. So we have APLD, and we can see the signal is the strongest signal, and it's going down to the right and down until the negative signal that we see on the bottom right of the forecast for the BN stock, which means that that stock has the strongest signal in a going downtrend, as we can see here. So in this case, the signal help us to rank the entire investment universe and help us to know in which stock we're supposed to focus on. The other indicator that we use is the predictability that we can see in the bottom left corner of each and every square. And that actually represents how good the algorithm can actually predict the specific asset. It's in Pearson correlation measurement, and it moves from -1 to 1, while 0 represents around a 50% probability that the asset will move to the predicted direction. 0.5 is around 75% probability that the asset will move to the predicted direction. So, and 1 is like 100%. That's a really high predictability level. So we will try to focus on the most predictable asset and the asset that have the strongest signal in all the forecasts that we're gonna see, and we're gonna see some examples from the latest days. But before that, I want to show you how the forecast is actually looks like and how it sent to you every morning. You are getting 6 time frames, as you can see here, from 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, and longer time frames of 1 month, 3 months, and 1 year. And in each and every time frame, we have 10 stocks to buy and 10 stocks to short or sell. If the algorithm has some negative stocks to predict. So we have this 6 time frames that is sent to you every morning before the trading starts. And you can see that in some of the time frame, we have some stocks that are repeating themselves. It doesn't mean that in each and every time frame we have different stocks. And now we're going to learn about what does it mean when we see stock in multiple time frame. It's actually pretty good for us. So this is how the forecast looks like. And let's jump into the market and see some examples from the latest days. In this case, we are seeing, for example, in the 3 days time frame, we have a forecast from the 23rd of June, and the algorithm gave us the best 10 stocks to hold for a period of those 3 days. We can see that MHO, for example, that is located on the top of this forecast with the strongest signal of 0.21, is actually generated 9.3% in this specific forecast. We also have AYI that jumped by almost 13% in those 3 days. And we have HOV, for example, with 17%, PHM, and we can see that the entire average of those 10 stocks is actually standing on 9.2%, while the S&P 500 in those 3 days has generated a negative return of minus 1.6, as we can see here in the bottom, which means the algorithm is actually help us to identify going up stocks while the market was actually negative. So this is a pretty amazing forecast for 3 days, 9%, and I think it's remarkable. And let's jump into the 7 days. We can see that this was generated on 18th of June, and we can see the stocks that the algorithm is actually gave us for the 7 days time frame. We can see that some of the stocks, by the way, didn't went to the right direction. We can see the small X's in the right, which means that those specific stocks went to the wrong direction or have a negative return. But 7 out of the 10, we can see that actually was really successful. And if we can find stocks such as IMVT from the biotechnology sector, or we can see BRBR from the consumer universe, or AMAT from the semiconductors, TDG from the aerospace and defense, BLDR from the home builders. We can see multiple sectors that the algorithm chose stocks from and gave us the best 10 stocks to hold. And those 10 stocks actually generate 6.5% return in those 7 days. Again, while the S&P went negative in this specific week. Let's go to the 14 days time frame, and then while we're going up the time frames, we can see that the signal is getting stronger, and also the predictability also getting higher. So as long as we go in the time frame, we can see it in the 1 month, in the 3 month, and even in the 1 year that we're gonna see in a minute. We're gonna see that the signal and the predictability is getting stronger and stronger. So that's why we advise you to focus on the longer time frame. In this case, we can see some exciting forecast for 14 days time frame that generated on June 11. You can see here the dates. It started from June 11 until 25 of June. And we can see the stocks that the algorithm focused on. And we can see a lot of pharma and healthcare stocks, such as IMVT, MBRX, MRVI and VKTX that jumped by 33% in those 2 weeks. This forecast actually provides 16% in average, while the S&P went up by 1.25. And let's go to the 1 month forecast. And here we can see an interesting thing in this forecast. We can see multiple SOX-related stocks, a lot of semiconductor stocks that the algorithm is tell us actually to focus on. For example, from the 22nd of May, the algorithm is marked MRVL, Marvel, of course, AMD, STM, Intel. We can find MU that jumped by almost 40% in this month, and the Marvel with 46%. And this forecast gave us an average of almost 15%, while the market went down by 1%. But the exciting thing here is that the algorithm gave us the big focus on semiconductor stocks, and that was a really smart decision in those days. Yeah, if I'm taking you back 1 month ago, and we saw the stocks sector jumping in a really aggressive way. And even from the beginning of the year, some of you that listened to our webinars from the beginning of 2026, we showed you that the algorithm is actually marked the semiconductors as one of the leading sectors for 2026. And this sector is also already jumped by 90% year to date. So that's also pretty impressive. And another interesting forecast for the 3 months time frame, and that forecast actually ended like 3 days ago. We can see it was until the 28th of June. And we have some interesting stocks here. Again, IMVT again. We can see IEST, that is also really interesting stocks that jumped by 52%. We have VKTX and RSI with 47%. But Yaron wouldn't like to hear that, but LESL jumped almost by 800% in 3 months. And I'll let Yaron tell the story because
Okay.
it's sensitive.
A real story from our life here in I Know First. We are, for several institutionals, we are managing portfolios. For some of them, we are doing it on a systematic way. We are going to discuss it on the second part of the webinar. We have developed systematic trading strategies that we're going to showcase during the second part of the webinar. And for some of them, basically, we are using the AI as a decision supporting tool for us. And we are using AI in order to identify opportunities and in order to manage the portfolio with the help of the AI. Okay, so for some of those institutional clients, basically by the end of March, we were creating the monthly rebalancing of the portfolio, and we have some kind of investment committee that we are basically sitting together, Ben and I, and we are trying to build the portfolio. We're thinking about the risk, we're thinking about the reward, we're thinking about the opportunities. We're trying to balance and to think about all the different aspects. And actually, I saw LESL. I was monitoring the Russell 2000 universe, and I was looking at LSEL since I saw that actually the signal is quite interesting, and also the predictability is very strong. And I saw these stocks that appearing basically on different time frames, long-term, mid-term, also short-term. By the way, when we're trying to select and to choose the picks, we are always combining different time frames. We are always starting with the long-term forecast and then moving to the short-term one, but we are trying to verify each position across different time frame. So we actually identify LESL and we start to discuss this position. The stock was at the value of $1. Therefore, we decided to skip this opportunity, unfortunately. But here we see how interesting was this opportunity. But maybe Ben, if you can go to the next slide, you can see that we started to talk about LESL when it was around $1. Now the value is almost $10. So it's happening. It's part of our life, but nevertheless, we know that the opportunities will keep coming. So sometimes you're skipping and you're missing those opportunities, but we still feeling confident that we will be able to for instance, if we look into the previous slide, if you go into the previous slide, IMVT is an opportunity that we didn't miss. And for those of you that are also part of our AI portfolio, they know that they also received this opportunity. Same goes with IESC. So you win some, you lose some, but in general, the predictive algorithm is a very good tool to identify those opportunities. You cannot take advantage of all the opportunities, but I'm sure that the opportunities will keep coming. This is the nature of the market, specifically the market that we have right now.
Yep. And again, if we go 1 year backwards for 2025, 25 of June, and we'll ask the algorithm what's the best 10 stock that we can hold for a period of 1 year, we can find that the algorithm is actually suggested us to buy AMD with the strongest signal, and that stock actually jumped by 284%. NVDA, KLAC, AVGO, ASML, LRCX, MU with 848% in 1 year, which is a crazy return for a period of 1 year. And even Empower for 100%. This entire forecast that is, as you can see, is focused on semiconductors, actually generated almost 200% in 1 year. This is crazy, while the S&P has actually generated 20% in the same period of time. So you might tell me, all right, Ben, you're giving us forecast from the last year, from the last few months, but let's check some forecast from the last few days, or actually yesterday. We can see the forecast for the cyber security and software, and the algorithm gave those 5 stocks in the beginning of the forecast. In the top of the forecast, we could find a top B, 10B, so we can find Palo Alto, VRNS, ULYS, and ZS, and look at this performance of a 1-day trading day. That's just only for yesterday. TNB jumped by 10%, which is remarkable.
And it jumping by another 5% as we speak.
Another 5%. It's like 15% in 2 days, and we have one more day left for this specific forecast. Again, but if, for example, tomorrow you will open the forecast and you see the stock that is also in the 1 weekend or the 1 month time frame, it means that you can still hold it, keep hold it for a longer time frame. But this is remarkable just for 2 days of trading days. And now we want to talk about I think sectors and packages that are actually relevant to this time that we are living in right now, for the next month, or even the next 3 months, or the rest of 2026. We're giving you now the hottest sectors to be in, or the best indices to be in for the rest of the year. and for the following month. So we're going to start with the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 package is one of our most interesting, spicy package that we have. If you like stocks from different sectors, you can use this specific forecast. We can see stocks such as VLT, APLD, RGTI from the quantum universe, TSM from the semiconductor, and we have a lot of stocks from different sectors in the US market. And we can see for in the 1 year time frame, we have 180% return, APLD with 600%, VRT with 200%, which is pretty remarkable for 1 year. And if you like some like smaller stocks that can maybe have some more implied volatility in them, I think this is the package for you. Of course, you have to manage the risk all the time, and because small stocks usually have a higher risk. And if we'll check today's forecast from the Russell 2000, if you had this specific package today and you would open it, you would see those 5 stocks in the top of the forecast. Of course, in each and every forecast, you have 10 stocks, but I'm just giving you the taste of the first 5. For the 14 days time frame, you would find Dave that in the beginning of the trade was jumping by 4.8%. We can see FDMT, we can see VSAT, and GSHD that's jumping by 4.5% as well. And this is just the first day of trading out of 14 days. And again, this is a live forecast from today that our clients just received. And the first stock with the strongest signal and the highest predictability actually jumped by 4.5% just at the beginning of the trading day. So that's interesting to see. Another sector that we think that is going to be the leading one for the following month, of course, is the technology sector. And for that, we have the technology package. The technology, again, the technology package. In this specific package, the algorithm picks the best stocks out of the technology sector. It can scan the entire sector and see which stock should lead or leading for different time frames. And I think it's one of the best packages that we can offer you. I think this sector is more than relevant. It holds inside, of course, the semiconductors, it's software companies, all things that belong to the technology universe. And you can see by yourself the returns that those stocks has generated in the 1 year. And even yesterday, if you would open this specific forecast, you would get AXON, Palo Alto, Amat, Semiconductors, ALAB, and NVDA. And those stocks actually generated really high returns. AXON, with the strongest signal again, jumped by 9.7% in 1 day. And again, this is a 3 days forecast. So that's interesting. And even today's forecast for 7 days, you would find AXON again in the top, jumping by 6%, and the Palo Alto with 2.85. And if, of course, you have 10 stocks here, I'm just showing you the first 2. And if you would check the bottom of this forecast, you would find WDC and Light with a negative signal, as you can see, with 0.38 and 0.41, which means that the algorithm gives those stocks a negative forecast. And we can see that they actually went down by -5% and -4% just in the first trading day. And that's really interesting to see. So tech package, I think it's one of the most relevant and interesting package. And another sector that if you want to focus on, if it even like being more with zoom in to the technology sector, you can find the semiconductor universe. which also, again, more than 90%, this sector has performed from the beginning of the year, which is kind of crazy if the S&P is around 5 and 6%. Semiconductor is here, AI evolution is here, and this package is still really relevant. I think it's super interesting for the following year, month and year. And we can see, for example, in this forecast, the algorithm picks the best semiconductor stocks out of the semiconductor universe. We can find the MRVL for the 3 months time frame. We can find the AVGO. We can find AMD with 136%. We can find the SML with the 28%, and of course the NVDA. And this package in 3 months time frame actually generated 57%, which is 5 times more than the S&P in a period of 3 months. Again, we talked about the 1 year. You can see strong signals in the 1 year forecast. You can see high predictability levels as well. And all of those giving us those 10 stocks that generated more than 146% in 1 year, which is a remarkable return. And also, we can see that 10 out of 10 stocks in this specific forecast was actually right. So that is I think interesting as well. And another interesting fact about this forecast that all of the 10 stocks is actually outperformed the S&P itself. 10 out of 10 actually outperformed the S&P, and that I think is really remarkable. All right, another sector that I think is one of the leading sectors in nowadays, we can find the cyber and software package that we have. Cybersecurity and software is the hottest trend right now. Even today, we can see a lot of software companies really outperforming the market. So we gather all those stocks together, and the algorithm scans those stocks and gives you the best software stocks, best cyber stocks that you can find in one forecast. And if we'll take these examples from the last few days, from the 21st of June, we can find stocks such as VRNS, Okta, 10B, CrowdStrike, and many other, while the S&P went down by almost 2%. And even in the longer time frame, we can find here Palo Alto, we can find CrowdStrike, 10B that we talked about, SentinelOne, and the AVGO, and outperforming the market, Palo Alto with 95%, which is pretty amazing. And if we would open today's forecast for the cyber and software package, which is a new package that we launched 2 weeks ago, you would find those 5 stocks: BigB, BlackBerry, ALKT, PAR, AppLovin, and GWRE that we saw in the beginning. And those stocks from today for 3 days ahead already generating amazing return. And our clients that are member to this, that are subscribed to this package, got this forecast in the morning and were already ready for today's trading day with the stocks that they want to hold for a period of 3 days.
Yeah, BB is already jumping by 5% as we speak. Our APP is jumping by 10%. LKT is jumping by 4% right now. PAR is jumping by 5.6%. Very interesting sector. We do see, as you mentioned, GWRE is jumping by almost 7%. We do see an upside. We do see that this specific sector, specifically the intersection between software, the IGV sector, and the cybersecurity, is very, very interesting right now going forward. Basically, as Ben mentioned, what we're trying to do here is to show you which packages are the most relevant for this market regime for the upcoming months right now. And Ben, how basically we can take advantage and basically choose those packages.
Yeah, so we have a special webinar sales for you guys that we're gonna show you in a minute. But so stay tuned. We have a really interesting sales for you for the 4th of July sales as well. So we'll be presenting them in 2 more minutes. Before that, another interesting forecast that we can see that we have the Magnificent Seven forecast. In that specific forecast, from today's forecast for the 7 days ahead, look which stocks is leading this forecast with the highest predictability level. We can see Meta is actually in the lead in this forecast after NVDA. NVIDIA is down by 1.7, but Meta is up already by 9.8. We can see Tesla is also up by 1.8, and Microsoft is up by 3.2. So this specific forecast for the Magnificent Seven was really accurate by finding Meta. Look at the predictability of Meta. It has the highest predictability in this forecast. So Meta would be a really interesting buy for the 7 days. If like before today's trading days, Meta looked really interesting, and still looks interesting for the following weeks by this forecast. Another forecast that I really like, it's the ETF package that we have. ETF package is actually the algorithm picks the best ETF out of the US market. We can find in this package really interesting stuff for your portfolio. First of all, it's giving you a diversification of your portfolio. You can choose different sectors from different universe. For example, you can buy semiconductors with home builders or a financial sector, because the ETFs package gives you the best sectors to be in. Another interesting thing about this package that it's actually giving you a geographical diversification. For example, we can see here EWY, which is South Korea, jumped by 47% in 3 months. This is quite unique because if in some different areas you want to stay out of from the US market or diverse your investment portfolio, you can get here in this specific package, in the ETF package, which I really love. So we can see that this specific forecast from the 24th of March actually generated 30% just by holding ETF. And we can find here EWT, which is Taiwan. We can find EPI, which is India. The MAGS is the Magnificent Seven. The QQQ, of course, is the Nasdaq 100. The stocks, look at the stocks forecast for those 3 months, giving you 78%. That's quite unique. And again, if you would look at this forecast 1 year ago, you would find the semiconductors again in the head of this list. QQQ, TQQ, QUC, and XLK, which is the technology sector. Basically, the algorithm in this case streamed semiconductors and technology, and the results came accordingly. As you can see, the XLK jumped by 60%, and as well the QQQ with 40%, and the semiconductors with 180% in 1 year.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing to see, as you said, this 3-month forecast. Basically, what do we see here? We see here Korea, we see the semiconductors, we see here Taiwan, EWT. We see many regions that being affected by the semiconductors and by the AI revolution that we are experiencing right now. Very interesting choice. If I want to diverse my portfolio and to use a basket of assets such as ETFs. And as you mentioned, the fact that we are using ETFs and the selection is this basket of baskets is basically beating the SPY is very, very interesting, specifically because of the risk level.
Yeah, of course, it's lowering the risk level in your portfolio. So also, I really recommend this specific package. And combining it with another package can also be really interesting. Okay, and if you don't really know which sector you want to be in, you don't know if you want to be in the semiconductors or the technology or the financial, we have the most popular package in our website, which is the top 10 package. The top 10 package is actually the algorithm chooses the best 10 stocks out of the entire US market and giving it to you, as we can see here, ranked by the signal. And additional to those 10 stocks that they provide you, it also brings you a forecast on the S&P 500 index itself. That's helping you to know what's the trend in the market right now, where the market goes. So you get, in addition to those 10 best stocks to be in for a period of 7 days or 1 month, you would also see a forecast on the S&P 500 index itself. And that can help you to see where the market goes. This top 10 package is actually picking stocks that are have the larger cap, more than $2 billion cap. And we can see in this case to the left, in the 7 days, in the forecast that was generated of 18 of June, you can find stocks such as IMVT, BRBR, Amat, and BLDR from the home builders universe, and helped us in a going down market. Again, you can see the market went down by 0.84, and it's really hard to find stocks that going up in a going down market, I remind you. And the algorithm does that in a really good way, as we can see in another example from the right here for the 1 month time frame from 28th of May until 2 days ago. We can see that the algorithm identified stocks from different universe. If it's the semiconductors with MU, if it's the biotechnology with IMVT, if it's the AXON from the technology, or WSM from the home builders, or TDG from the aerospace and defense. You can see a lot of stocks from different universe that bringing us the average of 8.2%. Again, while the market went down by 2.2%, and that I think is really unique. And that's the big advantage of the algorithm, that it can identify and find the best stocks to be in a going up market and a going down market. And the last package before we're going to jump into our webinar sales, it's the implied volatility package. If you like more risk in your portfolio, if you like stocks that jumping by 40 and 50% in a matter of months, so this is the package for you. Again, you have to handle the risk. But this one of my favorite packages, the implied volatility package. We can find stocks that have some strong moves, more volatile universe, and we can see, for example, the signals for the 1 month are much higher. For example, MXL jumped by 67%, NVTS jumped by 67%, ARM with 30%, and many other that actually generated almost 30% in average. In the longer time frame, you can find KOS, AAOI with 140%, PRGP from the energy universe, VLT also again with 31%, and we can see some interesting stock for different time frames that has a high volatility level. So if you like those kind of stocks, that would be the package for you. And by the way, if you bought this package yesterday, you would find FCL with 20%, OUSD with 15%, MXL with 80%. And just by one trading day, I think this is like an average of, I don't know, around 8 to 9%. And this is just one day out of 7 days of trading. This is like a remarkable forecast. All right, so how can you use all of those packages? The first option for you is to get into our prices page in the website, iKnowFirst.com, and you can find some of the packages that we saw in this webinar. For example, the top 10 or the S&P or the ETF. You can try those packages for 1 month or 2 months and feel the algorithm a little bit and try to use it. The first webinar sales that we suggest you is the 1+1 webinar sale, especially for the 4th of July. You can get 2 packages for $349 per month. No commitment. You can cancel it anytime, but you can choose any 2 packages that you like and combine them. For example, you can take the top 10 with the semiconductors. You can take the ETF with the implied volatility. You can choose any stocks that you saw in this webinar. Not all of the packages, by the way, they are in the website, as we have some special deals and unique deals just for this webinar. So many of the packages that you saw early would not appear on the website, only on this sale that you can get in the link that is in the chat right now. You can choose any combination of 2 packages that you like. You can try it for a month and cancel it afterward. But I'm pretty sure that you're gonna go through with this with special deals. So this is our first deal for today. 2 packages, 1+1 for $349 per month. All right. The second deal that we have for you today is one of my favorite products, the AI portfolio. The AI portfolio is actually letting the algorithm to build a investment portfolio for you every 4 weeks. Is giving you the best asset that you should buy and hold for a period of 4 weeks. That's actually letting you don't have to choose any stock. You don't have to look for signals or predictability. Those of you are who just want to get best 10 stocks to hold in their portfolio, and it could be ETFs and stocks. That's the product for you. We're gonna see the performance of this AI portfolio, and it's quite amazing because the algorithm is actually picking the best stocks out of leading sectors in the market. So first, the algorithm scans which sectors are the best to be in for the next month, and then you go like a drill down model and picks the best stocks to be in for a period of 4 weeks from the specific sector. So you're gonna be in the right sector, and you're gonna have the best stocks from this specific sector, and that I think it's have high value for you in this specific product. It costs $330 for 3 months. It's paid every 3 months. And the webinar deal is instead of $500, you're getting this for $330 for 3 months. And that's a remarkable webinar stuff that we have. let's take a look, for example, the performance of this portfolio since the inception. We launched this portfolio at the April 2nd, 2025. And since then, the algorithm is actually, this portfolio is actually generated 48% 0.8. If we compare to the S&P that performed 32% in the same time. So beating the S&P by 16% in 1 year, it's quite a thing. And let's see, and the peak from the last rebalance that just ended a few days ago, in the 24th of June, we can see the six leading assets that we had in that portfolio. We can see that we have Dell that actually performed 42%. We have MRVL with 39%, MU with 13%, the semiconductors with almost 6%, AMD with 5%, and technology with 0.75, minus 0.75. And all of this happened while the S&P itself went down by 2.16%. That's amazing. Well, the entire market went down. The algorithm gave you those returns, and the portfolio is actually generated 6% in those 4 weeks. That's 8% alpha on the S&P, and I think that's pretty amazing. And again, we can see the portfolio from the last month, and we also can give you a glimpse what happened in the following months, in previous months in 2026. For example, in February, the portfolio return stand on 4.89, again, while the S&P was negative. And here you can see the 10 stocks that the algorithm picks. And all you have to do is just buy the stock in closing prices and hold them for a period of 4 weeks. And the algorithm will do the job for you by picking the best stocks to be in. If we jump into April, for example, the portfolio is made 7.87%. And if we'll check May, 1 month ago, we can see that the semiconductors were here, the MRVL stock were here, XLK, you can find the IYW, and the return of this portfolio stand on 7.88 return. So this AI portfolio, is actually launched a new portfolio a few days ago, and it's still, you can join this portfolio, the July portfolio, by subscribing to the AI portfolio. The return of this portfolio is already standing on 2.7%, and it's less than a few days. So still, you can join the AI portfolio by subscribing to this webinar sale. Again, it's $330 per month, and you get the best stocks that the US market can provide you. I really like this product, and I think it's pretty unique. All right. So the third webinar sale that we have for you guys is you can actually combine one of the packages that we see here and the AI portfolio for $299 per month, paid every 12 months. You can get the daily forecast for the top 10 for the semiconductors from the ETF, and get the AI powered portfolio, get the stocks once every 4 weeks. And then you're combining like a long-term portfolio that is actually changing once a month, and a daily opportunities from the packages, and you can get it for $299 per month, again, paid every 12 months. And that's nothing compared to this amazing and I think most remarkable webinar sale. This is a all-inclusive package. You can get two packages of your choice, which you can switch every month. You get the AI-powered portfolio, and you'll get the 2026 report, our one of the most popular packages product that we have, and you get that for $399 per month, again in a yearly subscription, and you get everything you need to be on the right side of the stock market. You get the AI powered portfolio and bringing you the best stocks to be in every 4 months. You can choose two packages of your choice and switch them every month and change them every month. And you get the 2026 report that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But basically, it's giving you the best asset that you should hold for the 2026 second half. And you don't want to miss that product in this special webinar sales that we have for you.
Right. Before we're talking about this interesting H2 report, I see several questions about the differences between the 4th of July deals. Maybe I will quickly explain the differences between the different deals. The first deal includes basically access to all the packages that you have seen during during this webinar. Actually, we are suggesting you to focus on the packages that we were recommending, meaning IGV, software and security, the new package, technology packages, Russell 2000, top 10. Those are our favorite packages. Every day, you're going to receive the live forecast right into your email mailbox with the best opportunities for the upcoming day. So every day you will expose to the opportunities that the AI is generating. So this is the first deal. And you can mix and match and change the packages every month. There is no commitment with this deal. The second 4th of July deal is the AI portfolio. If you prefer to invest on a monthly basis and you don't have the time to follow the daily opportunities that the AI is identifying, you can actually use the AI every 4 weeks to build your portfolio, equally weighted portfolio, and to conduct a rebalancing after 4 weeks. As you've seen, this AI portfolio is outperforming the market, not only in 2026, but also since we started this product on April 2025, actually just before the President Trump announced the tariff. So we started this product in a quite volatile period. And the last deal basically is basically covering everything that you need. 2 packages of your choice, plus the AI portfolio, plus the very unique product that Ben is going to describe right now.
Yep, and that you get for $399 per month. And before we're going to talk about the 2026 report, let's show the crowd what we chose for the following month.
Tension here, Ben. Okay.
And Yaron, what was your choice?
I prefer the IGV sector. I like the cyber and the software sector right now. I think it's a very interesting sector. If we check in the performance of this sector since the beginning of the year, it's actually negative. So there is a tremendous upside in this sector. We do see some rotation between the sectors, and IGV, the cyber and security and the software sector is very promising right now. And I would like to combine it with the AI-powered portfolio, well, the results, I cannot argue with the results. The results are really good, and I really like this product. It's providing the opportunities in a very organized way every month. It's very simple to use. Everyone can utilize it. What about
Yep.
you?
Well, I picked the ETF package. Again, I like the diversification that it provides, and giving you also what's to know what's the best sectors in the market, and of course combining it with the AI powered portfolio, which is I think the most advanced product that we have, that actually using the best technology to choose the best stocks in the market. So I don't think you should miss the AI portfolio. So this is my choice. And the product that we are launching today is the H2 2026 asset report, the best stocks and the sectors and the commodities that you should hold from July until December for the rest of 2026. Just to buy those stocks that we are sending here and to hold them for a period of 6 months for the rest of 2026. We have a special model that is taking and choosing those stocks and sectors. And this report is actually include the most recommended stocks from different indices. It also have the best top sectors to be in for the next 6 months, the best currency forecast, the best commodities you should hold, for example, gold, oil, metals, silver, and many others. Cryptocurrencies also included in this report on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other currencies that the algorithm suggests to buy for the period of 6 months. And of course, which are the leading indices and sectors for the following 6 months. And this report is actually quite amazing because we have it every year. We're actually launching this special report once every 6 months. And the last report was in the beginning of 2026. And I want to show you the best 10 assets out of this report and the return year to date. We can find one of the assets, of course, is the semiconductors with 90%. Here we can see IESC, which is the interesting company that is doing electricity utilities. We can see Wolf with 77%. We can see Dave. We can see RSI. We can see IMVT with 49%. And we can see Taiwan Semiconductors with 40%. Aerospace and defense stocks, HWM with 24%. And IYW with 24%. Again, those 10 stocks actually gave you 53% from the beginning of 2026, and we are in the middle of the year. Again, I remind you, the S&P stands on, I think, 5 or 6% year to date. And that, I think, is quite remarkable. This report is one of our leading product. A lot of people buy it, just that people that wants to buy stocks and hold them for a long term, and they don't want to trade on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. They want the long term. So this is the product for you. You just buy the best assets that appears in this report and hold them for a period of 6 months. And if 2026 didn't convince you, I can show you what was in 2025, and that's pretty crazy. Look at the stocks that there were on 2025. We had Robinhood with almost 300%. We had SoFi, we have Shopify, we have CrowdStrike, we have TSM, with 50%. We had NVDA and Google and many other stocks that you can see in this list. And more than that, look at the commodities that we recommended in 2025. It was the silver, it was the gold that made some significant return. The gold with 72% and the silver with 166%. And also the ETFs. We have the Buzz ETF with 53%. We have the aerospace and defense with 50%. And the semiconductors equal weight with 37%. And you can check it in our website and see the 2025 report was a big success, such as the 2026. And even more than that, you can check the 2024 that also it was really, really a successful report. We can find NVIDIA, THC, COF, and many other stocks that outperformed the market in 2024. So if you want to be in the best assets for 2026, for the second part of 2026, you can get this report for $990 in one-time payment that you'll get the best assets to buy and hold for a period of 6 months.
Yeah, and the link is available right now in the chat as well. And basically, this unique report, this one-time report, is a very interesting product. Basically, maybe I'm going to explain the entire process, what we're doing in order to build this report. Basically, we are covering in this report all the sectors that the AI is identifying as the most relevant for the end of the year, the end of 2026. We are identifying first the sector, and then we are creating a drill down to the strongest sector in order to identify the best stocks from those sectors. So this comprehensive report is identifying the best sectors and then drilling down into the stock level, identifying the best stocks from the strongest sectors, identifying the strongest ETFs, specifically for Ben, and then identifying the best commodities, the best currencies, and the best regions also across the globe, and also providing the prediction for the entire market, for the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell 2000 stocks. So it includes assets from different universes with different asset levels, for aggressive picks and also conservative picks. And basically, it's the most comprehensive report that you can get, that basically it's quite identical to our institutional, to the solutions that we are providing to leading hedge funds. So I really recommend you to take advantage of this unique opportunity and to get this report. And I think the fourth deal, Ben, include this report.
Yeah, that's what's special about the fourth deal. You get the H2 report for free if you're doing the premium package of all-inclusive webinar sale. And again, you're getting 2 packages of your choice. You can combine any packages that you like. You can, and you're getting the AI portfolio as well, and the 2026 report. So basically, you have like the short-term stocks, you have the medium-term stock, and you have the long-term stock that cover and help to your entire portfolio. So this report is one of our most popular product that we have in I Know First, and most successful one. I highly recommend people that are in the long-term investment time frames to buy and use this product to make your portfolio really good in the long term.
This is a very good point that I didn't mention. This report is being built by utilizing our longest time frame, the 1 year and the 3 month time frames. Basically, so we are focusing on this time frame, and it's designed for investors that would like to build a long-term portfolio. By the way, I saw that in the second half of 2025, Marvel was appearing. It's quite fascinating to see that. I think I saw the Marvel in one of those reports. Um, and um, so for people that would like to get the forecast every day, the first deal is the right for them, the +1+1. And the second one is designed for people that would like to build a monthly portfolio. And the third and the fourth one are designed for people that would like to get them all on one end, to get the opportunities on a daily basis, to build the monthly portfolio, and also to build a long-term portfolio by utilizing the 2026 H2 report.
Yeah, so all those webinar styles, by the way, are available for the next 24 hours only. So yeah, you have to be quick on that and get those webinar sales in those prices. Again, all the webinar sales are available for the next 24 hours. Another two other interesting packages that we recommend this time is the Buzz package. If you are familiar with the Buzz ETF that actually gather all the interesting or most popular stocks from the social media or from the digital media. So we can find in this universe stocks such as Palantir, Intel, Boeing, AppLovin, Pfizer, Broadcom, Oracle, DraftKings, Disney. And to this pool, we actually added the Bitcoin, the gold, and the silver. And the algorithm is providing a forecast for those for this package. And today's package, by the way, if you would open it for the next 7 days, you would see that the leading three stock would be ELF that jumped by 5.1%. You would find VKTX from the pharmaceutical universe, and you can find RBLX that jumped by 5.37%. That's for the beginning of this of the webinar. And this is just again the 7 days, the 1 days out of the 7 days forecast that you can see here, and really good returns. You can see that ELF is already with 7.7 return, and that's interesting for this package. And you can actually see that in the bottom, LUMN, Lumen Technologies, were in the negative side of this forecast. And right now, it's actually going down by minus 5.4%. So it started with 2.7 and now it's minus 5.4. So this is a really accurate forecast. And again, just the first day of trading, and you already get remarkable returns. So this is the Buzz package that is also available only in our webinar sales. And another, I think, really interesting sector for those times, it's the biotech. The healthcare also looks quite interesting. We can find the stocks from a variety of healthcare universe. If it's the biotechnology, if it's the healthcare or medical equipment. In this case, we can see a biotech forecast from the 26th of June for 3 days time frame that also actually provided it almost 8% on average. And if we'll take today forecast, we would find FATE, FATE in the top of this list, jumping by 13%, at least at the beginning of the trading day. And we can find the NYGN and NTRA that's also up by more than 2.5% each. So this biotech package is also, we think, one of the interesting packages that you can have in those days.
Yeah, specifically, also the healthcare is very interesting right now. I agree with you. Biotech and also healthcare are super interesting now in the market. So this is another option that is recommended by us, along with the BAS, the most popular stocks that you just described.
Yeah. Another interesting package that I really like, it's the AI dashboard package. Yeah, dashboard package is a more general view of the market. It helps you to navigate through the market because it holds inside all the main indices in the US. For example, the S&P 500 index, the QQQ, the Russell 1000, the IWM, as you can see here, the RSP, which is the S&P equal weight, the VIX, the volatility index, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, the oil services, the gold and silver, the oil, 10 years government bond, TNX. You can see also the German index, the DAX, the Bitcoin forecast, dollar index, and many other currencies. So with that package, you can actually have the best look for the market to know if we're in a upgoing trend or going down market. You can see the volatility. You can understand where you're standing in the market, and you get it for 6 different time frames. And also you can trade on those index, of course, highly volume index. So the AI dashboard is one of the leading packages that we have actually from the hedge fund clients that we have. The majority of the forecast that we send to the hedge fund is the dashboard is the first forecast that they look at to know where the market is going to go, the S&P, the NASDAQ, where to be, where not to be, and what's the volatility level. And that's the highly information data that we supply to our hedge fund clients.
Okay. We mentioned as the one of the packages that we are recommending right now is the top 10 or the top 20 package. This package is designed for actually in order to discover opportunities on a daily basis. The universe is quite large. It includes opportunities for the entire US market, not just from the S&P. And one of the most fascinating thing about this package is that basically it includes also a very important indicator, daily S&P 500 forecast. And as we know, the market could be positive, but also it could be negative. And as we can see here, this package can help us also with identifying those negative periods and to identify actually negative market. We can see an example. We mentioned April last year. We can see on the right side an example from the end of March 2025, while the top 10 package or the S&P forecast based back then at the negative focus for the market, we see the negative indicator, negative signal that the S&P 500 forecast had back then. And also the strongest signals came from the bottom of the heat map. So if I am investing in this type of market and I'm receiving this forecast, I have two options: or to go short and take advantage of those short selling opportunities. It's quite unique that basically the AI is providing us the opportunity to take advantage of any market, or the long opportunities or the short opportunities. And if I'm a long only investor, I can decide to exit the market for a while until I getting a green light from the AI algorithm again, and basically managing the risk during those periods. And those periods are happening. It's part of the market. Sometimes we might see negative focus for the market. And again, we saw it also this year, actually. If you jump into the next slide, Ben, we can see a forecast from this year.
Yeah, 1 second, I don't know.
Okay, so we have seen it several times also before. We've seen it in 2020, while we had just by the end of February negative focus for the market. It's happening, and we're going to see it from time to time. This is the example that I was looking for. We can see that by the mid of March 2026, during the war with Iran, we have seen negative forecast. It was on the middle of March. We saw negative focus for the S&P, and also the strongest assets came from the bottom of this heat map. So basically, if I could choose another package besides the software and the cybersecurity one, I would choose the top 10. Of course, together with the AI portfolio and the one-time report for the end of the year.
You can have it all.
I want to get everything, Ben. I want to get it all.
All right. So before we're gonna see what was your stock picks for this webinar that you sent us in the beginning of the webinar. You sent us a lot of stocks, and we generated now the algorithm to give the forecast on those stocks. And we want to pick the 5 most voted stocks, and we're gonna see what's the forecast for the following month on the stocks that you picked. But before that, we're going to talk about about our institutional clients and the service that we providing them to the institutional clients. We actually generated a systematic strategy. This specific strategy is called the combined strategy. That is basically made out of the majority of the strategy is actually sectors and subsectors. This strategy is actually rebalanced once a month, once every 4 weeks. And the algorithm picks the direction of the strategy, if it's going to be a long assets, or we have to short the asset. And it's actually giving us the best 11 assets to hold for a period of 4 weeks. But we can see that the weight of this strategy is being in the size of the sectors. We have 60% of the strategy is actually the Geeks level 1. We have 10% is the Geeks level 2, which are the industries that we have in the S&P 500. For example, the Geeks level 1 sectors are the XLK, XLF, XLV, and etc. The subsectors are the home builders, the semiconductors, the banks, and other. We have 20% out of this strategy is S&P 500 stocks, and 10% is the S&P 100 or SPY. And the performance of this strategy is quite remarkable from 2022, standing on 824%, while the S&P is around the 132%. We can check the strategy year by year, and we can see that all of those years, from 2022 up until 2026, we are outperforming the S&P 500. and not just by 2 or 3%. We can see here the outperformance is quite big. And rather than that, the most interesting thing about this strategy is the drawdown and the risk levels. As you can see, the Sharpe ratio is standing on 1.84, which is pretty amazing, and the Sorrentino, which is again the risk level is above 2, which is also really good. You can see that the drawdowns that we have each and every year, the maximum drawdown is actually lower than the S&P, and I think that's the things that the hedge funds and institutional clients like the most, that the volatility in this strategy is actually lower than the S&P, and the return is much higher. And that's what the AI is actually doing successfully each and every year. We can see a few examples to this strategy and how it actually built. We can see that the majority of the weight, 60% of the weights go to the sectors, XLB, XLI, XLF. We can see subsectors such as the semiconductors and aerospace and defense. And we can see the stocks that the algorithm focused on in each and every month. We can see it that on February, we actually outperformed the market while it was negative. We can see that in March, we actually went short and outperformed the market while he went down by 3.5%. And I think one of the most interesting months was April, when the majority of the strategy focused on the technology and semiconductors. We can see that XLK here, one of the leading sectors, was with the highest weight in this strategy. He had almost 26% out of the strategy was the XLK, and the semiconductors as well also performed very good. And even in May, the majority of the strategy, more than 30%, focused on the XLK sector, which actually performed 16% in those 4 weeks, and that's what gave us the advantage. So we are being in the right sector. Giving the algorithm is the one that tells us what's the weight that should be in each and every asset. And again, in this case, he gave the technology sector 30% out of the strategy, which gave us 7.4% in this strategy. Same goes with May, that we had the 6%. And again, if some of you are in the crowd, if you have institutional clients here in the crowd, please feel free to reach us by sending a mail to my mail that you see on your screen, or a customized hedge fund service that you have in our website. We'll be happy to find the strategy that fits for you, or doing some specific collaboration.
Yeah, basically this is our, let's say, Maserati when we working with institutional clients. This strategy is being used in order to manage on a systematic way the portfolios of different hedge funds, prop companies, family offices, and it's working really well, as you can see, because it's working for both sides, the long side, the long opportunities, but also the short selling opportunities. The risk here is quite attractive, I would say, and quite interesting. Very low risk, very low drawdown. So we are really proud of this strategy, and so feel free to reach out if you are institutionals, to reach out and to talk about this, how this strategy could be implemented also in your portfolio.
Yeah, and I see there's a question in the crowd about if it's showing 2020 in February 2020. Yes, it starts from January 2020, so February is included in this year as well. All right. So we have, again, for those of you who are trading in the crypto universe, we also have a special package for cryptocurrencies in which you can find the best cryptocurrencies in the market. If it's the Ethereum, if it's the Bitcoin, if it's the Solana, we have a forecast for specific crypto universe. Also, we have indices package. If you like to see more global look of the market, if it's India, if it's Brazil or other any Asia, other main indices in the global view, we'll provide it in the world indices package. We also have a commodities forecast that's focused on silver, gold, oil, and many other more than 50 commodities that are available in this specific package, and a currencies package as well, more than 75 currencies that you get on a daily basis. So if you're trading on this kind of asset, it's also available for you in the webinar sale. And now I have the results for the live forecast that we have for you guys. You sent us a lot of stocks, I must say. Um, but the winning ones we'll discover right after those last four webinar sales that we have for you. Again, the first webinar sale is the 1+1 that you can choose any two packages that were presented in this webinar, and you can combine them for $349 per month. You can try it for 1 month, no commitment. You can cancel at any time. This is our first webinar sale that is available for the next 24 hours. The second webinar sale is the AI portfolio. Get the best stocks that you can have for the next 4 weeks, rebalanced every 4 weeks. You can get it for $330 per month instead of $500 per month. This is our webinar sale. And I promise you that you won't be disappointed out of this product with almost more than 45% return in the last year. That look really, really promising. The third webinar says combining the AI portfolio with one package of your choice. It's a yearly subscription in which you pay $299 per month. It's of course paid every 12 months. And this is our third webinar sale. And the last webinar sale is a all-inclusive premium package in which you get two packages of your choice, the AI portfolio and the 2026 report for $399 per month. This is I think, the most exclusive deal that we have and available for the next 24 hours. So if you want to have it all, the short term, medium term, and long term, that's the webinar sales for you.
Ben, maybe we can go over the page that includes all the deals.
Yeah, sure. It's available in the chat for you guys. You can click on that. Let's jump to it and see the webinar deals. 1 second. Okay. Yep. After clicking on the link that you have in your chat in the Zoom, you're getting into this page in which you can choose any sale that you have. If it's the 1+1, you can, by clicking on that, you can get to the page that you choose two packages. You have the AI portfolio here. You have the 2026 asset report, and also the yearly subscription if it's the AI plus the first AI+1 package, or the premium sale that you get two packages of your choice, the AI portfolio and the 2026 forecast for free in this specific webinar day.
Okay, great.
All right. So let's see the results of your stocks that you sent us. A lot of you sent Meta, by the way, which is located quite high in our forecast here. As you can see, it's not the first three lines, as you can see here, but it's also pretty good. We can see Tesla, which is also like in the middle of the forecast. We can see the signal and the predictability for the 1 month, 1 month ahead. Apple is also in the middle of the forecast, not in such a high position. I wouldn't, let's say, buy it right now. Qualcomm is also near the red zone. Whom of you that holds the Qualcomm, I would consider that again for the following month. And LITE is in the bottom with the, let's say, most negative signal right now. So I would avoid this stock for the following month. But those are the five stocks with the most that you chose the most. I mean, that you send us the most: Apple, Tesla, Meta, Qualcomm, and Light. Right now, Meta looks the best out of those five. But again, I would focus on this part of the table. For that, you have to purchase this forecast and see which stocks appears in the top of this table. But that was your choice for now. And think what you're gonna do next with those stocks that you're holding. If it's Qualcomm or Light, I would maybe think about it twice. Meta
Actually,
looks good.
it's quite fascinating that the AI at the bullish forecast on Meta. I'm reminding you, this forecast was sent more than 12 hours ago. So the AI was as a positive positive focus for Meta before the opening, and we know that Meta is now jumping by almost 10%, right? And on the other end, it's very interesting to see the negative focus, the bearish focus that the AI had over Light, as you mentioned, LITE. So yeah, and I totally agree with your suggestion. Focus on the strongest signals, the stocks that are appearing on the top part of the heat map. And another remark, quick remark, we showed you a lot of short-term prediction during this webinar. However, we do suggest that when you're opening the forecast for the first time, we do suggest that you will actually start with the long-term forecast, the 1 year forecast, the 3 month forecast. Start with those heat maps, and then try to pick stocks that are appearing in multiple time frames, but the trigger should be the 1 year time frame. This is our recommendation, not necessarily the short-term ones. So try to follow this process. Start with the long-term forecast, the 1 year forecast. This is the way that we are doing our stock selection. So start with the 1 year forecast, focus on the stocks with the strongest signal, but also take into account the predictability, the ability of the algorithm to predict the stocks. And I see again request to see which stocks we are recommending for the upcoming month. So both of us are suggesting to have the AI portfolio as part of your selection. This is my suggestion and also Ben's suggestion. And I prefer the top 10 package or the IGV software and cybersecurity package. I think it's very interesting. Ben preferred the ETF and the AI portfolio, and both of us would like to get the H2 report as well.
Yes. And I think we can now answer some questions that we have here in the Q&A.
Right.
See if we missed something.
Okay. Do you always have have always 10 different stocks every forecast? Well, it's a very good question. The answer is it depends. The question is whether we providing every day brand new stocks. So it basically depends on the package. We do have packages that basically conducting the discovery process for you, and those packages are identifying opportunities across the entire US market, and the opportunities might be different from day to day. However, if you're choosing a package such as S&P 500 or Russell 2000, then if we have like a specific universe, then most of the times the long-term predictions are going to be there also tomorrow. Let's put it this way. The short-term forecasts are more dynamic. However, the long-term picks are usually here to stay also for the next daily forecast. And the beauty here is that you are getting every day the best opportunities from the universe that you are choosing. And as we have seen here, there are plenty of opportunities that this market is providing us. We're definitely in a risk-on market, and I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the AI in this interesting market. Personally speaking, but I'm talking from a position, I don't know any other way to invest right now. This is the only way that I know, relying on the artificial intelligence when building my portfolio, when building in general building portfolio.
Yep, we have some question here. Entry price or exit price. Also, we don't provide you entry price or exit price. We do provide you a time frame that you should hold the stocks in. If you buy the stocks in the 1 month period, you're supposed to hold it for 1 month. After 1 month, you can check the forecast and see if the stock is still there. You can keep holding it for another 1 month. And you always get a daily forecast, so you can always be updated where's the stock that you hold is actually located at. And that's, I think, answer how do you know when to sell after this period of 7 days or 1 month or even 3 months. You can sell the stock, or again check the forecast to see if the stock is still in the leading place, and you can hold it for another period of time. I think we answered the majority of the questions here, basically.
Yeah, I think we covered most of the stocks, most of the questions. Yeah, I think most of the. If you have an additional questions, feel free to reach out. Also, feel free to join our secret WhatsApp group by scanning the code the QR code that appearing in the screen right now. I'm also pasting the link to the WhatsApp group to the chat, so you can feel free to join, basically.
Yeah. So we have only now just to time to thank you and say thank you for being with us in this webinar. Thank you, Yaron, for almost 2 hours webinar, and
Okay.
hope
Ben,
you find
you
it
didn't
interesting.
provide the results for the soccer game today. Every
Ah,
webinar,
yeah,
Ben is using AI to predict
my computer.
the World
Uh,
Cup results.
right now we have England on the line.
Okay.
Uh, I predict 1-1 actually at the end of 90 minutes, although it's already, I think it's halftime. But I think it's going to end 1-1, and England may be out of this tournament. So uh, that's
God save the Queen. Okay.
the quick.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ben, for this forecast.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for being with us. And I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the artificial intelligence technology. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.